Aye, but you've got to admit, old Blumby puts on a good show, Ralph the landlord was saying at the bar, to a chorus of agreement. One by one, the drinkers sang the hangman's praises, and all Cedric could do was shrink into the shadows, listening in envy. I thought that poor sod he knocked off today was never going to snuff it, laughed one man, a rough-and-ready merchant. He were fair rocking about on that rope, recalled a brash waggoner, gleefully knocking back his ale. Yes, the landlord said conclusively. He's a sport, is Blumby. Best hangman we've had round these parts for donkey's years. He has a laugh and a joke, does Blumby. A damn sight more than that boring old Weir. What a grouch he was, eh? Cedric could take no more. He's naught but a yanker. The drinkers at the bar looked up, disturbed. He yanks 'em, does Blumby. He's no finesse, as old Weir used to say. Think of the poor sod on tender rope. It's going to hurt him the way he does it. He's a yanker. Who gives a damn about the bloke being hanged? Shot back a bloated blacksmith, eyes red with drink. He's a criminal. There's a right way and a wrong way to hang someone, and old Blumby does it wrong way. Now old Weir, he were a class act. How would you know? Fired the blacksmith, squaring up. Voices rumbled in expectation of a fight. He were old Weir's apprentice, explained Ralph with a hint of derision. Aye, coughed a sleepy stonemason, half submerged in ale. Old Weir's bag-carrier. And yet again Cedric found himself the object of mocking laughter. I'm telling you, old Blumby, he's rubbish. But the more Cedric tried expanding on the limitations of his rival's style, the less the other drinkers cared. Soon they were back to bantering about jousting or sharing lewd jokes. Philistines, thought Cedric, shuffling off into the street. Nobody noticed he had gone, and Cedric trudged through the graveyard and down his crooked lane in a spirit of dejection, exhausted and depressed. The next few weeks were a trial for Cedric, as the village played host to one hanging after another, all performed by the bungling Blumby, yanking and tugging his inelegant way through a succession of unfortunate victims. With every jerk, Cedric felt the casualty's pain, and could not bear to watch. Many times he had to force himself not to bound forwards, grab the rope, and put the poor man out of his misery. But he knew that one step towards the scaffold would see the guards lunge at him with their swords, and then it would be he himself who was heading for the grave. Each time he swore to never again waste his time watching the stupid man make a mockery of the art, and yet every time a hanging came around, Cedric was unable to combat the temptation to attend. When he did, he found others assembled would automatically drift away from him, loath to listen to his now familiar complaints. "Aye up, here comes Cedric," they would groan, "always thinking he knows best. Here we go, Blumby." Slowly but surely, the Multhorpe man became a local hero, popular for his abrasive yanking manner, playing to the crowd. On one occasion, a highwayman was left hanging half-strangled when the rope came loose, sending him falling to his knees. "Oh, bloody hell," chuckled Blumby, turning to the audience with a mischievous grin, as if the whole thing were a joke. "This one's saying one last prayer." And the crowd erupted into guffaws as he tugged and twisted the rope to bring the struggling robber to his torturous demise. On another occasion, the opposite happened, and he had failed to supply a sufficient length of rope, so that a hapless housebreaker was left dangling 3 or 4 feet in the air, almost on his side. "Get down, you bugger!" cried the hangman, giving the horizontal housebreaker a dig in the ribs. "Hey, look at him!" he had hollered to barrages of laughter. "What's he hanging about for, eh?" And once again his fans broke into rapturous laughing and applause. Disgusted, Cedric turned away, and could not watch as a scruffy Blumby lurched about the scaffold like a clown upon a stage, revelling in the chaos of the scene. and only releasing the prisoner into the mercy of his death by means of a series of sharp snatches. "You're a yanker!" cried Cedric as he marched away. "Do you hear that, Blumby? You're naught but a yanker!"